The other day, someone put a comment down on one of my reviews asking me which 6 fragrances would I recommend for summer from the house of Terence Hughes. I've got 6 here for you, and they're not all just citrus fragrances because it wouldn't be boring, but I've got a few fragrances here to mix it up a little bit, because not only do we wear fragrances during the day, but we also wear fragrances when we go out of an evening. Stay tuned to find out about these fragrances. What is good, YouTube? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. I am the host of the day and my name is Mikeycologne, and thank you very much for tuning in. Yes, I have 6 fragrances that you can rock in the spring, summer. To be honest, these are all year round fragrances, but these will shine in the summer definitely as well. And this is for the subscriber who asked, what 6 fragrances would you recommend? You're about to find out. First off, I'm going to start with a release that come from 2023, which is Supernova. Now, when this came out last year, this was a big hit. It was constantly sold out week after week after week after week, and for good reason. It is a fantastic fragrance. Yes, this is perfect for summer, but again, you can wear this all year round. To me, citrus fragrances can also be a pick-me-up on a miserable, dingy day. You know, when it's grey and gloomy outside and it's raining and the mood's a little bit, you know, you're feeling a little bit moody. For me, citrus fragrances liven the situation up a little bit. But we're going to start with Supernova today. I'm not going to spend too long on these fragrances because I've done full reviews on all of these, but yet we're going to dive straight into it. This is Extrait de Parfum. Oh, and before I get going, if you want to get any samples of niche and designer fragrances, check out Small Aromas. If you live in the UK, they have great prices on their samples. I don't get paid to promote this website. I'm just letting you know, if you are after samples, Small Aromas do a great job. And if you're interested in any fragrances from the house of Unique Luxury, go onto their website where it says promo code, discount code, put in Mikey-Coute23. That will give you 15% off your order. Again, I earn no money. I will leave the links down in the description. Now, let's get going for the second time. Extrait de Parfum, great atomizers. You've got Dior, which do fantastic atomizers, pressurized, give out a nice bit of juice. These atomizers are just as good. Right, you've got Italian bergamot, mandarin and orange, grapefruit C notes, apple, pineapple, oak moss, patchouli, ginger, ambergris and musk. This opens up bright, lively, a little bit zesty from the grapefruit. Also a little bit juicy. Now, to me, I think it's that mandarin and orange which is creating this juicy quality in the fragrance. So it's slightly fruity, citrusy, fresh. Now, with this, it has an aquatic tone to the fragrance. At first, it's in the back, along with a little bit of musk. But the longer this dries down, that aquatic quality comes out a little bit more, so does the musk. In the base of Supernova, it really does sit musk heavy on my skin. Now, with this, as it's drying down, the pineapple comes through, the apple comes through, giving you an extra fruity slap across the nose. This is mixing in with the citruses, dries down a little bit more. Now, the patchouli, the oak moss, you gain this soft woodsy undertone, a little bit mossy, and the ginger comes out. Now the ginger here does supply a fresh, spicy zing into the fragrance. But on my skin, the ginger isn't overdone. It's just right in my own personal opinion. It's not screaming in your face. It's not completely laid back. It's just enough to let you know that the ginger is there. And it gives this fragrance a little bit of a fizzy quality. This is a stunning scent. No doubt this is masculine. This would be great if you're holiday, pool parties, just parties in general. If you're hot and sticky, wear Supernova. It's a great fragrance. It comes alive in the heat, but an all year round scent. But anyway, Supernova is my first pick. I wanted to put in a fragrance from his personal collection, and I have chosen the easiest fragrance that you could possibly wear, not just out of his line, but out of fragrances in general. This is Aura. This is not, I wouldn't say this is simplistic, but I'll get into it. This is Eau de Parfum concentration, and it is part of his personal collection, which I believe he has 7 fragrances. They're Eau de Parfum concentration, and the rest of his fragrances are extract de parfum. Now, what do you get with Aura? Let me just spray it. Oh, this is clean, this is fresh. You got bergamot, lily of the valley, amber, ambret seed, sandalwood, white musk, and ambergris. Not a big note breakdown. It does open up citrusy, it opens up clean, it opens up fresh, a little bit musky. The lily of the valley is supplying a little bit of sweetness, plus giving it some soft floral touches round the edges. To me, the ambergris is keeping things fresh all the way through. Plus, I do get a very light, like minerally, ozonic quality from this fragrance. So maybe that is the ambergris. There is nothing with the amber note. There is nothing balsamic in this fragrance. There's nothing resinous. It isn't that style of fragrance. It's a little bit light. This is a grab and go. This is if you're fresh out the shower, lounging around the house, if you're hot and sticky, especially in the summer, try Aura. It is such an easy fragrance to pull for, and it smells great. I wanted to put it on this list because I think this fragrance deserves some hype. You have another fragrance from his house called Carbon. I don't know if he's still selling that or not. That's another great fragrance. They're in the same sort of ballpark where they're a little bit minimalistic, but they smell very nice and they will get the job done. But anyway, I wanted to put this in there. Aura, great fragrance. 30ml, Eau de Parfum concentration. This is worth a reach, definitely. This one that I'm going to talk about now is great for days out. If you're in a white t-shirt, if you're in a white crisp shirt, if you're looking smart, if you're out with the lads, if you're out with the family, this is great for summer. But again, this is a great all year round fragrance. It is Guapo. This is another massive pill monster. It really is. It is extract de parfum. You've got bergamot, lemon, sweet orange, mandarin, tonka, Granny Smith apple, radiant woods, amber, ambroxan, sandalwood, Haitian vetiver, ambergris, and white musk. Quite a lot of notes. Now, obviously, this does open up citrusy, but with the Granny Smith apple, you do get a little bit of a fruity twang up top. And they're kind of just, nothing's really overshadowing one another. They're kind of just melding in together, so to speak. But with this, it's a little bit musky. It's a little bit spicy. I would even say this fragrance has a little bit of an aromatic touch to it. But as it starts to dry down, the woods come through. And this is, or on my skin anyway, it is a woods heavy fragrance. The amber, the tonka bean, they do push in a little bit of sweetness. They do add a level of richness into the fragrance. They give this a little bit of character to where it's not just a full-on citrusy fragrance. You've got the ambergris in here, so everything does stay fresh. It does turn slightly warm as it dries down. The woods amp up, the musk amps up, the citrus finally calms down along with the apple. The sandalwood as well, mixing in with the tonka, does give this a little bit of a creamy touch, but only a little bit. And that is when it goes from mid to base or mid to dry down. You get this little creamy facet that creeps in. This is when the citruses are calming down. They're slowly taking a back seat along with that Granny Smith apple. Then the woods amp up a little bit. It does go a little bit earthy on my skin. It's a great fragrance. It's a masculine fragrance. It's fresh, it's clean, it's vibrant, it's lively, it's citrusy, it's juicy. It's a great fragrance. Fantastic for summer. And that is Guapo. Now we're heading to nighttime use, and this fragrance that I want to talk about now, some people might think this fragrance is for cooler weather, and I do agree. But the way this worked with my skin on a cooler evening in the summer when my skin was warm and this come alive, man, this stuff is sexy and sensual, and it is my favourite fragrance from Aaron's collection because I love the note of iris. You already know what it is. It is on. This thing is a beauty. If you do like Dior Homme Intense, Violet Idea from Miller Harris, them styles of iris fragrances, I think you'd appreciate this. But for me, this fragrance takes the cake. It really does. This is gorgeous. This is, every time I smell this, I'm not wasting this. It is going on skin. I love this fragrance. When this runs out, I'm going to buy another bottle. This is one fragrance that will always stay in my collection, without a doubt. You've got iris concrete, amber, tonka, vanilla, sandalwood, cedarwood and white musk. Not an overly complex note breakdown. It doesn't need to be. This opens up buttery, smooth, waxy, a little bit creamy, a little bit sweet, warm. And when it starts to dry down, that iris really does come out. At first it's noticeable, but as it dries down, it comes out a little bit more along with the vanilla, along with the tonka, which creates a little bit of soft spice, a little bit of a powdery edge, and then the woods come through. Now the woods here, I think the sandalwood helps out on the creamy side of things, but then that mixed in with the cedarwood creates this pencil shavings aroma that I get from the fragrance, and it's not off-putting. Don't let that word put you off. It isn't. Because of the tonka, the vanilla, the iris, the amber, everything just works in tandem and it creates this beautiful fragrance. He hit it out the park with He really did. Like I say, I love this stuff. If someone said to me, right, think of 10 fragrances that you want to keep out of your collection, straight away my first pick would be this fragrance. I think it's that good. But anyway, on a cooler evening in summer, if you're on a date or if you're going out with your missus, or this is unisex, so either or can wear it, and you want to smell sexy, put this stuff on when your skin's warm and just, it radiates beautifully. It really does. This one that I'm going to talk to you about now, this is for clubs, this is for bars, this is for when you want to have fun. This is fun, flirty, sexy, sweet, intoxicating. This is Hard Candy. The reason why I didn't go for Hard Candy Elixir, because that does sit a lot heavier than what this one does. Hence why I went for the OG. You got lemon, mandarin, sweet orange, lavender, mint, vanilla, tonka, nutmeg, strawberry, honey, sandalwood, patchouli, MDMA. There is no drugs in this fragrance, and 5% Thai oud. So this opens up, it is what it says on the tin. It opens up very fruity. It's an explosion of fruits. But with this, I do get a very light citrusy touch. But this is not a citrusy fragrance, no. This is a fruity fragrance. Now, with this, you've got the lavender and the mint, and they do add in a little bit of freshness into the fragrance. And that lavender really does smooth out the opening of this fragrance. Now, as this starts to settle, the vanilla comes through along with the tonka, plus the strawberry comes in along with this thick, gooey, sweet honey. Then the Thai oud comes in, and the Thai oud here does really add, a layer of this thick, rich, sweet density into the fragrance. It darkens the base of Hard Candy up a little bit, and it gives it some character. This is creamy, this is fruity, this is sweet, this is a little bit woodsy, fresh up top, touch citrusy. Overall, it is a stunning fragrance. Now, this is unisex, I believe. Male or female, could wear this fragrance. Like, this is for when you want to have fun. This is for when you're going out of an evening and it's a nice day outside and you want to put something on that's going to project. And when your body heats up, this thing pushes even more. It really does. If you're warm, your skin's warm, Hard Candy and the Elixir, they radiate like beasts, especially in the first couple of hours. But anyway, fun, flirty, sexy, intoxicating, Hard Candy. Great fragrance. Right, now we're on the last fragrance, and this had to go on the list. It had to go on the list. This is one of his newest releases, and it is called Blue Fever. Now, gentlemen, let me tell you something. Get yourself a 10 ml and test the fragrance out. I know people keep going on about his restocks, that he sells out quite quick. You have to be quick on the mark. If you think to yourself, right, I want Blue Fever and Red Fever, put them straight in your cart and pay for them. And I'm not telling you how to spend your money, and I'm not trying to sell his products. But what I'm trying to put into your mind is that make sure you know what you want on the restock, put it in your cart, pay for it, job done, then it can't come back out your cart. And for people over in America, I believe, does Max Aroma supply his fragrances? I'm not too sure. I don't know what's going on there. I've had quite a lot of comments saying that people are struggling to get his fragrances in America. I don't know about that side of things. I just review fragrances. But anyway, I wanted to put this on the list. This is a great fragrance. To me, this is a dumb reach fragrance. And I don't say that in a bad way, or I don't mean that in a bad way. This is if you don't want to overthink anything. Say if you're just thinking, right, I want to smell good and I'm going out with the lads for a few drinks, Blue Fever will do that for you. Oh, I'm going out with the missus for the day and I want to smell fresh and clean, Blue Fever will do that for you. It is a citrusy fragrance. It's a little bit green. Great atomizer again. And when you look on his website, this says that it's 35% concentration, which is obviously higher oil concentration, perfume oil. Right, you got lemon, mandarin, bergamot, amber, grapefruit, green apple, lily of the valley, sea notes, oak moss, sandalwood, vetiver, patchouli, elemi resin, and peppermint. Now, like I say, opens up sparkly, opens up bright, opens up citrusy, fresh, clean. After a couple of minutes, it starts turning a little bit woodsy. The lily of the valley does bring in this green, sweet tone into the fragrance. Plus the lily of the valley here, I think helps smooth out the fragrance. Dries down a little bit, the woods turn up a little bit more, the citruses start to come down. Now, the vetiver, at this stage, the vetiver and the oak moss are noticeable because this fragrance sits a little bit earthy on my skin. But that citrus never fizzles out. To me, the elemi resin does add in a little bit of spice, but I also think it sort of keeps that citrusy quality in his fragrance alive through into the dry down. The peppermint supplying freshness into the fragrance, a little bit green. So he's worked it out well, how he's done the notes. You've got the lily of the valley, you've got the peppermint, you've got the patchouli, which can all give off green tones, plus add sweetness into the fragrance. You've got the vetiver, you've got the sandalwood, which is obviously woodsy. So he's clever how he works his fragrances. This is just a great smelling, mass appealing, easy grab fragrance, easy to wear, unless someone doesn't like fragrances in general, or they're just a straight up Karen and they're just arseholes in general. No one's going to dislike this fragrance. This is masculine, this is pleasing. Like I say, it's easy to wear and it'll work in any occasion. Yes, it's going to be great for spring and summer, but again, this is an all year round scent. If you're fresh out the shower on a hot or cooler day and you're rocking Blue Fever, it's going to make you feel good and it's going to make you smell nice. And that is as simple as that. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is 6 fragrances that you can wear in the summer from the House of Aaron Terence Hughes. Like I said, I didn't want to just do citrus fragrances. I wanted to put a couple of different fragrances in the mix that will work for evenings. So I did. Right, have you tried any of these? Which ones do you enjoy? What is your favourite fragrance from the House of Aaron Terence Hughes? Like I say, I don't know what's going on about his American orders, so if I could help, I would. I always say, if you've got something to ask me. If I knew what was going on, if I could help, I would, but I can't. So I apologise. I can only review the fragrances that I've got. Right, I appreciate everybody's support, and remember, smelling good's always a pleasure and never a chore. And I will see you lot on the next one. Cheers.